Please. Before we try to know you, we'll introduce ourselves. I am A.K. Singh, ex-Indian Revenue Service officer. She is Madam Bilkis Khatri. So first we congratulate you on clearing the main examination and that you are going to the interview, and we wish that you get into one of the prestigious services, whatever you desire for. What is your preference?
So IAS, then IFS, and then IPS.
Okay. So let's hope and wish that you get into IAS. Okay.
Thank you.
And just tell me one thing, you passed your college in 2017,
Yes, sir.
and thereafter, after passing the college, what did you do?
So when I passed out of my college, my father, he got posted to Mumbai.
Okay.
So in 2017 itself, we shifted here. And for about 7 to 8 months, we were living in the guest house here because we did not get an accommodation. So during that time, sir, I did not start my preparation right on. And so I waited till the time we got settled here. And then from May 2018, I started.
Okay.
So during this course, I was into modeling, sir, actually. Something
So
which I started.
this is your first attempt.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, I am not much aware of the data these days, but when we got into 70% of the students, I mean the candidates who would get into the civil services, were getting in the first attempt. So the persons who are in the first attempt, their chances of getting into the services was 70% those days. I don't know, it might have varied now. But anyway, now madam.
Yeah, sure. So your father is from the armed forces.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are you aware of AFSPA?
Yes, ma'am. This is Special Powers Act.
What are your views on it?
Ma'am, I believe that the kind of war that we are fighting, both externally as well as internally, we need such kind of laws to ensure that the army is able to run its operations smoothly, especially in these disturbed areas, be it J&K or the northeast sector, ma'am. So, provided that the army follows a policy of giving respect to human rights, as well as to maintain peace and stability in the area, I think we need to have such balanced legislations now.
But do you know about the recent Supreme Court ruling on AFSPA? Like few years back, the latest ruling on AFSPA, where the Supreme Court said that even armed forces can be questioned if undue, unreasonable force is used. Because AFSPA gives a blanket protection. So,
Yes, ma'am.
So do you agree with this blanket protection, or if there is any human rights violation by the armed forces, they should be booked as such?
Ma'am, in line with the Supreme Court judgment, I believe that while there should not be any blanket immunity for anyone to carry out any violation of human rights, at the same time, from the forces point of view also, we have to ensure that we should more or less utilize the internal machinery within the army. Army already has a very strict machinery to carry out any sort of counter operations for human rights violation. There is speedy justice within the courts, armed forces, courts, tribunals, and I think that machinery is much more efficient, especially for the armed force cases now. Because
How
at
many
times,
such cases have you heard of where there has been some conviction or some action taken for human rights violation? Rather than army, in any institute or any authority, do you ever see themselves, they're filing cases against their own people and prosecuting them?
ma'am, the army follows a very strict procedure in case of any such violations. The tribunals, they give justice within 1 year. So, and as far as the record of Indian Army is concerned, ma'am, the conviction rate is less than 1 or 2%, because according to the statistics, ma'am, most of the cases are false cases which are filed to mislead the people.
You
It's
agree
not
the
that-
conviction rates with the tribunals is very less.
Ma'am, conviction rate is less because at times such cases are misused by our adversaries, ma'am. What essentially they do is to utilize this machinery to divert the attention of the army, and so that the army is not able to carry out its operations in the right way. So what I'm trying to
There
say
have been
is,
many protests going on in northeastern states against AFSPA. We have a case of your own Sharmila.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, essentially we have to understand that the troops come from the same society that we live in. They're not some different people. But at the same time, ma'am, the army has an in-house procedure to carry out this entire human rights violation cases now. And therefore we should respect their point of view as well. That's what my stand is now. And no human rights violation should be tolerated as a policy.
So that's what it is, and that's what, if the Supreme Court is looking into the matter, you say no, Supreme Court should not look at tribunals within the armed forces, should look into it for human rights violation cases.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, because at times the
Okay, we got your stand.
okay.
About Haryana, your mother's from Haryana.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So Haryana has a very low sex ratio.
Yes, ma'am.
What steps can be taken to counter that?
Ma'am, a low sex ratio is a result of a large number of factors. So to tackle this, we need an all-round approach. Right from, we have to start, firstly we have to start educating the people by incorporating the local panchayat leaders, the urban local bodies. Because the grassroots democracy is from where the information dissemination is the fastest. So if we utilize those people and the religious leaders, if they can spread the message that, a girl child is no less than a male child.
Well, again, they are from the society. Why would they be different from the society who thinks the way they do?
Ma'am, I think the more devolved this entire process is, the more educated people become. Even the panchayat leaders, if
Do
we
you see
have
any
regular...
changes now? Are you in touch with Haryana? Do you see any
Yes,
changes
ma'am.
happening?
In my own district, ma'am, in Sirsa, the villages, they've started the policy that whenever a girl child is born, a tree is planted. So like these kind of positive messages, ma'am, they spread a good information in the society and they will bring a change. But it is a very slow process and the strict implementation of law is also required. So it's a carrot and stick that we have to balance out.
You have heard about Nirbhaya case. Presently, the death sentence has been announced,
Yes, ma'am.
but there is delay in handling, and the Home Ministry has approached the Supreme Court on expediting the process. What do you think about that?
Ma'am, I believe that rape in India is not only a brutal crime but also an emotional issue. Because we have to see from the victim's family point of view as well as the accused, ma'am. In this case, ma'am, there have been delays and purposeful delays because the review petitions have been filed in such a way so that the actual hanging is delayed further. But ma'am, at the same time, we have to realize that we cannot create a strict blanket law to cover all such cases. It largely matters on case-to-case basis.
So, what is your point? Should we wait for entire legal process to be exhausted before hanging them, or should the process be expedited and
And the process has to be expedited, but at the same time, we have to realize that in this entire thinking of fastening the process, the justice should not be denied to the accused as well. So we have to make sure that the accused gets the right amount of choices to make the review petition, but at the same time the time frame could be reduced. For example, ma'am, in this case, instead of each person filing separate review petition, there can be say a 1 week window wherein all the accused can file the petition.
And about the Hyderabad rape case in which there was a police encounter. What do you
Yes,
think
ma'am.
about that?
Ma'am, I
Was
believe
that justice delivered? What do you think? How was it? Eventually, whether it was acted out or whether it was really the way it happened, was it justice delivered? What do you think about it?
Ma'am, I believe that without the actual inquiry report, I cannot say anything at this point of time. Because the police statement is that they took out the encounter because the convicts, they were trying to escape the accused. Whereas the people say that the opposites, they say that it was purposefully done, so that justice is done immediately.
But eventually, do you think justice was delivered, or what is your stand on that? Or you don't agree with this step?
Ma'am, I believe that the law should take its course. The law should be fastened, it should be speedy, but at the same time, people cannot take law in their own hands. But in this case, ma'am, till the time the inquiry report comes, we cannot say anything because it's not about emotional feelings that the people have. We also have to see the police point of view.
That's
Why
what you
they took
said.
those
That
people.
was your statement that rape in India is also an emotional
Yes,
issue.
ma'am. At times there's public
So,
pressure.
do you think emotional issue, if it's emotions should take over legal
No,
process?
absolutely not, ma'am. Emotions cannot be allowed to take over any person who is officially in charge of a duty. And in this case, ma'am, we also have to hear the police point of view, why they took those people early in the morning.
Right.
And the inquiry report only can tell that.